My dad, he used to run a salting station up in the bay for salmon. And I'm just going to use that salmon for a brief comparison. He told me that when you salt salmon, it takes about 7 to 10 days for it to fully cure. So I noticed over the years when it comes to codfish seems like it takes to the salt a lot faster. In other words, when you salt salmon, you'll notice it takes at least 24 hours for the brine to start coming up into the salmon. Codfish, it'll happen like overnight. So it takes to the salt a lot faster. Now, my dad told me that 7 to 10 days salmon was fully cured. So I use that as a guideline with codfish. I know that 7 to 10 days codfish is going to be fully cured, meaning that it's not going to take to the salt anymore. So after that, see, different people leave the codfish in its own brine. I'll show you in a few minutes I got a bucket here, what it looks like after it's been in its own brine. But I'm laying this stuff out here right now just to show you how I cut it up to fit in a bucket. Now, if you flay out the codfish, you could salt it whole, but you're going to have to cut her up later on anyway to eat it. So it's your choice. So just recently, I found out from a friend of mine that you can keep this in the salt for I don't know for how long, but some of the problems we have, like especially in a warm, like in the summertime, if you're not in a cool place, it seems like it might turn on you a little bit. So this friend of mine says you're better off after you salted it and you're done salting it, is to put it in plastic vacuum bags and then freeze it. So that way you could take out what you want. If you have a small family, take out a package or two, and that way it's readily available to you. So I've been doing this now since then. I like it better like this because it's more convenient. Because you don't have to go out in the snow in the wintertime looking for your codfish bucket. So, yeah. So anyway, this is what I learned, and I found out this is more convenient. And normally I found out that when you cooking or getting this ready to prepare for your friends, maybe 2 pieces per person is a pretty good way to figure out how many pieces you really need. And that's important. And one thing I did find out, a lot of I'm going to use the word old timers. A lot of them like this part of the fish right on the collar. They like that. Some people don't like the bones. There's no bones in the tail end. And when we flay these things out, we always leave the bone in there. So you got to watch out for that. So these some of the choices that you have when you're digging through the pot. What pieces you want to use. As far as salt, I have found out it doesn't matter whether you use fine salt, medium, of course it doesn't matter. But my dad told me years ago when they used to commercially salt salmon, is they would make sure after it's fully cured that they would take the salmon off, rinse the salt off, and then make a brine, 100% brine, and repack the salmon into these kegs. And that way, he used the word, it would not get